Hey, what's going on, you guys? Ajolt here. Just got back from Toronto, Canada, and I played PaleMoon for Premium and ended up third place. Quick shout outs to my sponsors, Ultra Pro, Pro Play, and my teammates. Sorry, my show and snips. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown of how I played it and what I went against. My starter, I went for Entertain Messenger. I decided I went for Entertain Messengers for this particular build I ran, where I really need the early draw power to get the early piece I need, especially my grade 3. I really didn't want to miss red, and also a little bit more prone to rush, so I decided to go for this starter. Cat's also good, but like again, I'm trying to go for consistency of not breaking, so I decided to go for this starter. 10 threes. I ran the main boss card, which is Visible Songster. She is what causes the whole infinite PaleMoon loop for this deck. And I ran 3 Artillery Man. Artillery Man is there for the big tower plays and also when you're playing defensive triggers. And I ran 3 Tricky Assistant. She doesn't have an Excel marker, but that's not the whole point of playing her. The whole point of playing her is the whole Ajolt removal and certain other decks where they really need their back rows or whatnot. Okay, so here's one of the key pieces of our deck for my grade 2s. We got 4 copies of Flying Parrington. This is what the whole starts the whole engine. It's basically, on place, just soul charge, call one behind backwards. It'll be usually purple trapezes. So this is definitely a staple. You have to run 4 copies, and you really need to see this in your soul or at least write it. There you go. Other 2s I ran. And actually running 4 copies of Misdirections. Sorry about the sleeves. I'm just using them for something else. But yes, I ran 4 copies of Misdirection. This is the new one, not the old one. These just ORs. She helps the unbrick early game, where you want to pay the cost, counterblast, and put a Great One regard to soul, and then draw 2 cards, put 1 card from my hand to soul. This really helps you to unbrick, and that's the only reason why I'm playing it, just to unbrick. So 4 copies. And this is what I personally love to run. I love to run the old copy of Dancing Prince of Night Sky. She helped me so much. She saved me in a few games where I didn't have any of my combo pieces, and I soul charged her. It's like, okay, so I'm missing 2 combo pieces. She gets me all my pieces right away because I'd keep relooping her with Flying Parrington and Purple Trapezes. So I ran 2 copies. It's also AK Body, so I like the counterblast deny. 4 copies of Purple Trapezes. It's the old one. Put a Regard to Soul and bring 1 out. So we got 4 copies of Purple Trapezes. This is the old one. Go for the old one. Don't do new one. You can't loop with the new one. So this is supposed to be 4 copies of Green Element here. Sorry about the 4th one. I was kind of borrowing it and just using it for something else. So yeah, this is supposed to be 4 copies of Great Elemental Tier. This is what starts the whole loop, where if you run out of Counterblast, you can keep relooping it because Songsters would use Counterblast 1, and you just keep doing it over and over again, and make sure you have G units spaced up with Great Elementals, so you can flip as much X number of Counterblast. Alright, so these are the tech grade ones I ran. I ran 3 Rusty Bunny. I mainly want to run because I need more shield power, so I need more 10k shield. Also, it's also good to know maybe if I ride it first and then I have a really bricky hand, I just use it to pitch and draw. It's also not bad on grade 3. I can still charge 2 for the power play for looping. But it rarely comes up just for the drop draw. 2 Skull Juggler. This is like an old card. All it does is on place Vanguard rear circle, just soul charge 1. So you can reloop this with Purple Trapezes, where you can keep soul charging in case I don't have soul. It manages to fill soul for Artillery Man in case my opponent hits defensive numbers. We got 8 draw triggers. Consistency. You just need to see your pieces, make more space for grade 1s or draw PGs. Then we got 4 stands. This will enables the loop and also consistency purposes. And then 4 new heals. No point running the countercharge soul charge heals because you really need the survivability with this. So for my strides, I ran 2 copies of this heat element, where it just helps enable the loop because the cram one can flip with no G unit face up on 2. So talking about Seabreeze, I ran 1 copy of Seabreeze. It came in clutch once because people don't remember Seabreeze, and I grade 2 games someone and I'm going to it once, so it's okay. Just a filler spot. I ran 4 copies of Masquerade Master Hari. This is my answer to lock. So I ran into it once. And just there, just for that matchup. One copy of Dust, never went into it. 2 copies of the Count card, G-Guard. I didn't go into it at all. It's there as a filler spot in case I need big guard, but I never went to it. And 2 copies of Wandering Dragon G-Guard. This is nice to get me a free soul charge and also guard for my soul if I really need to. And usually I'd run 2 just in case I hit a draw PG, so I can PG. I ran 1 copy of the Maha G-Guard, which is a soul charge 3. That's all it is. Just this setup. 1 copy of this Mixed Element card. Never went into it. It's just a Grand Lentil. That's it. And 2 copies of Rectum G-Guard. I went to it every single time. Just a pitch draw. Alright, so that's my profile. Match of today, I have run 1. I unfortunately went against Messiah Freeze Rate, and that matchup is complete auto lose because I can never loop. So that was unfortunate. That's how you get that game up. Round 2, I went against Gridora, which is actually a pretty straightforward matchup because even if they like lock me out like from one column, I still have one other column. So all I did was Carrington and Purple Trapezes, re-looping this with an Excel marker up there. So yeah, like I had like, let's say this Tellerman. I just kept doing this from Parrington with Soul Charge, bring it out, bring up Purple Trap, bring this out. All they're just in one column. If you're really doing this column, whenever I Cow Blast, go into tier instead of the Tellerman. That's all. Keep doing it over and over again. That was the easy matchup for round 2. Round 3, I went against Murakumo Loop. Murakumo Loop was like really weird. I ended up looping first, so that's when I used Series class there in grade 2 because I knew that they really wanted to try. So I was like, no, I'm gonna try first. So Murakumo Loop, I ended up doing my hope for after first try. Pretty straightforward. Like it's who loops first wins. Round 4, I went against Angel Gize. Angel Gize I had a game plan in mind. It's not that hard of a matchup. You may have to stay. What I did, I ended up being at 0 damage by the time they are Gize, so I took 5, and then that's when I started my whole loop because they don't have defensive triggers. And I actually ended up having 5 criminals in the G zone and then using tier and put 5 damage every single time I used it. So I kept re-looping that and then using tier when I get the chance. And then I ended up putting 5, so it was attack. Like it was more like attack, hits or not hit, whatever. Swing, soul, bring out this soul charge, bring this out, bring this back in, bring out tier, maybe some counter charge, bring out another tuner man, whatnot. So that's how I kept doing the whole loop against Gize. It didn't matter at 30k base, didn't matter how many cards in hand. I ended up one-shotting. He had like 22 cards in hand, 2 protect markers, 1 damage. I still one-shotted him with Tillerman. Round 5, I ended up going against Victor. Played the 0 damage game where I would end up giving them 0 counter blast and try to deny them. And then I actually end up striding, stack all the rear guards, and loop them up from there 0 to 6. So that was pretty straightforward. I got that game. You couldn't really do much on any counter blast, so it was kind of free. And then round 6, actually going against Victor again, same game plan. I got that game. So that was it. And then came in 4th in Swiss and end up 3rd at the end of it. So top 8, I went against Ajolt. Unfortunately, that game was like a sacky game because the Ajolt player had a high rolling and then he opened with double under Ajolt, so he ended up having 3 excel markers while in grade 1. So that game was a wrap. Top 4, I'm against Anj, and I unfortunately end up kind of like bricking kind of. I mean, I end up managed to be able to ride properly, but like the entire game, I saw no single draws or heals the entire games. Keep in mind, around 8 draws, I didn't see a single one. Or to heal. I need to at least hit something because I fell so far behind because he hit an early crit and I couldn't recover. I couldn't hit any good triggers to recover me out of. So I ended up losing that game, unfortunately. Okay, so play off for 3rd place. I ended up playing against Messiah the leader. That game, I ended up trying keeping him at low damage. I knew he wanted to go delete and give it to me, so I tried not to give him too much counter blast. And by the time I hit my loop, he had 3 reguards on board, and I knew he had Lacus, Creed, and G-Guard, which can lock my whole back row, and lock all 3 reguards. So my whole game plan was just to keep on trying to loop out Tricky Assistant and using Flying Parenton with Purple Trap. So that was my whole game plan. Purple Trap, Flying Parenton, try to put this in Soul, lose their one of the reguards, push it to Soul, and try to use Tier to Soul Blast counter charge, and keep re-looping everything until they run out of reguards. And then I would go for a push with Tether Banner or something, make sure I can swing. I gotta make sure I keep enough back rows though, because in case they go the G-Guard, I can lock my back row. I choose one, so I'll choose maybe something behind my back row, like if I had this setup, like that. So that's just my lineup of how I'll go against the matchup. So, not bad. That was my matchups of today, and well, thank you guys for watching. See ya.